Welcome back, everyone. Thank you guys again for tuning in to another episode of Loners.
Yep. And we're still back at the same location as you
Yes.
can tell.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to be able to film another video here. So soak it in while you can.
Yep.
That I'm not holding the mic and you can't complain about it because everyone complains that I hold the mic wrong.
Oh, yeah. That's funny. All right. So this is episode 228.
That's funny.
All right, guys, just want to make sure that you jump over to our vlog channel, like and subscribe there. I always leave it in the description, so just know that, okay? All right.
What he said.
So today we're going to do a video called Average American versus Average Canadian. How do we compare? Let's see the difference. Because I think actually we're a lot alike. So let's see.
This episode is brought to you by Skillshare. The first 1,000 people to sign up using the link in the description will get their first 2 months free. The international boundary is the official name for the longest international border in the world between two countries, specifically Canada and the United States, the second and fourth largest countries by area, respectively. These countries have ever-increasing close cultural and economical ties and similarities. Their shared historical and cultural heritage has resulted in one of the most stable and mutually beneficial international relationships in the world. So how do their populations compare? With so much in common between these two nations, we thought we'd take a look and see just how similar and different the everyday person is in this episode of the infographic show, Average American versus Average Canadian. The population of America is just under 326 million people, with the average age being 37.9 years old. And for Canada's population, the total is a little over 36 million, with an average age of 40.6.
I'm totally kidding.
The average height for an American male is 5 foot 9 inches, and for a female is 5 foot 3.5 inches. For Canadian males, the average height is also 5 foot 9 inches and 5 foot 4 inches for women.
Nice.
What about weight comparisons? If a person's body weight is at least 20% higher than it should be, he or she is considered obese. When we looked at obesity for Canada versus America, most of the recent studies are for adolescents up to the ages of 19. In the late 1970s, obesity rates for children and adolescents from ages 3 to 19 in both countries hovered around 5%. Those numbers have shot up to around 13% in Canada and 17.5% in the US in recent years. Though Canada trails America.
Friend, sorry to say this, but you got fat.
Jesus Christ.
In this area, it is steadily catching up. So what does this say about diet, and what do these neighboring nationals like to eat? Canadians are known for eating poutine, which consists of French fries with gravy and cheese.
Isn't poutine on like Eastern Canada, like Montreal and Quebec and shit?
Okay.
No, I'm saying, but like.
I'm sure it's everywhere. We have poutine here too. It's just not as popular.
Putin? You guys eating that Putin?
All right. Potato chips are also different in Canada. They like ketchup chips and all dressed chips, which are a combination of barbecue, tomato, salt, vinegar, sour cream, and onion. Other classic Canadian foods include smoked.
I think he was actually talking about
fries. No, fries. They call fries chips, I think.
Oh, wow. You guys are freaking lame.
Isn't fish and chips
and beaver tails,
fries?
which are fried?
Yeah.
Smoked meat.
I'm just being annoying. I'm sorry, guys. I'm tired.
Dough shaped like a beaver tail with candy and chocolate on top.
It's
Americans, on the other hand, eat buffalo wings and s'mores,
it like a bear claw?
And of course are
No.
Bear claws. All right.
Famous for their hot dogs and hamburgers. All foods that are also available in Canada, but are known for being American. When it comes to life expectancy, according to a report from the US National Research Council, Canadians are likely to outlive Americans due to being healthier and in better shape. Health is determined by hundreds of things, and some of those are obviously more favorable in Canada than they are in the US, says report co-author Samuel Preston.
A lot of it I really do feel like comes from the ingredients of our food and what they like our processed stuff. Because, okay, in the US, there's only like 2 corporations that own all of our grocery chains.
I want to say there's like maybe 3 or 4, but yeah.
No, there's 2. It's
literally
really 2.
2?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's Kroger and I forget the other one, but they own like all of the groceries, so they can pretty much do what they want with the ingredients, the prices, all that stuff.
Yeah, and they're very smart with their marketing and their packaging, because they'll make something look super clean and healthy, and it's under the same corporation as something that is
Yeah.
cheap and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I really hate that we have, and I do think it's because our medical industry is such a big profiting machine that we put so much shit in the food to make it almost like, you almost have to be like, I don't want to say you have to be wealthy to eat healthy. That's funny, it rhymed. But you kind of like, you have to be doing pretty well to consistently eat healthy every day and not just be like.
Yeah, it's I don't want to say it's a chore, but it's something you have to be pretty conscious of.
Yeah. It's also,
If
it
you're
shouldn't
not
be
really well.
it shouldn't be more expensive to eat healthy than to eat shit.
Yeah,
But,
also because
yeah.
we've said this too before, like the work culture here, it's almost
Fast. So just
like
go pick
just-
something up on
yeah.
the way. Yeah.
yeah.
Are in the US, says report co-author Samuel Preston, a professor of demographics at the University of Pennsylvania. Canadians born in 2007 can expect to live up to 82.3 years for women and 79.3 for men, compared to 80.8 and 75.6 for people born in the US. So if Canadians are living longer, surely the healthcare systems of the two countries must differ. Let's take a look.
Right, but it's
According to
not much
Wikipedia,
longer.
the United States spends much more money on healthcare than Canada on
We spend the most on healthcare like in the world. Yeah. And it's a huge percent of our GDP, and
I'm
yeah.
not convinced the average person's living to 80 if they're a guy. I'm just not. What did it say? Did it say guy 80
Yeah.
or girl 80?
Yeah.
I'm not convinced. I'm just not. I feel like people are dying sooner and sooner here.
No, I
like
noticed
in their 60s, 70s.
I feel like it has a lot to do with the ethnicity.
Okay.
I think certain ethnicities live longer. All right.
I guess you're right. Holy shit.
both a per capita
Yeah.
basis and as a percentage of GDP. In 2006, per capita spending for healthcare in Canada was $3,678, whereas in the US, it was $6,714. In that same year, the US spent 15.3% of its GDP on healthcare, while Canada only spent 10%. And 70% of healthcare spending in Canada was financed by the government versus 46% in the United States.
Okay, guys.
In terms of
You've heard us say it many times. We think it's bullshit that we don't have universal health care. Again, our country needs to be divided into different parts, because I didn't realize, I know I'm going to sound dumb, I didn't realize how low the population was in Canada compared to America.
It's a lot less. Yeah, I didn't realize that either.
Yeah. So, generally speaking, I could be wrong. I feel like it is easier to pass something like universal health care in a country that has a lot less of a population versus here.
Yeah.
I still think we deserve it, but things like that should not be federal.
You think it should be like
Federally driven.
state driven?
Yeah, I do.
Well, California, I
should
think
be.
California is trying to do that.
Because each state does have their own, what is it called? We have covered California here.
Yeah.
So we have our own systems that can make it more affordable for healthcare for lower privileged households or people that are older and are retired and on Medicaid and stuff.
Yeah.
So we have certain programs and things like that, but I haven't heard any state, and I have heard it here and there at California, but nothing that's progressively happening.
No, they're trying, but it's
Yeah.
always trying.
That's what I'm saying. I'm I don't feel like any state has prioritized enough to make it universal healthcare in that.
Yeah, and you know what? I understand that the money for these programs will come out of our taxes. We already pay a shit ton of taxes in California. You might as well use some of that money to do this.
I
don't know.
agree.
It's like,
I think
where's that extra? We get taxed we have a state tax of 13-14%. It's insane. Some states don't even have state tax. Texas doesn't have state tax. Vegas doesn't have state tax.
I would still never live in Texas.
No, but I'm saying if we're paying that much of state tax, just fucking use some of the money for things that will benefit us.
Yeah, I 1000% agree.
access to healthcare services. In Canada, every legal resident is covered through a publicly financed provincial or territorial plan, whereas Americans need to purchase insurance to be covered, with the lowest income being eligible for public coverage through the expansion of Medicaid. What about salaries, you might ask? According to the website numbeo.com, the average income of an American and a Canadian are roughly the same amount. Canada's after-tax monthly income is about $36,000 per year. The US sits just below Canada.
Did he say after tax or before tax?
After.
It's 35 after tax?
Yeah.
Okay.
At approximately $35,300 per year. So we've looked at height, weight, health, and earnings, but what about the culture and lifestyle of these two nations, and how do they compare in these areas? When it comes to sports, Canadians love hockey. They play hockey, watch hockey, and have hockey on their currency, but surprisingly, basketball has overtaken hockey in Canada as the most popular sport. Americans love football and basketball, and both nations enjoy and compete at baseball. When it comes to schooling, Canada doesn't have middle school. Students go to elementary until 6th grade, and then high school from 7th grade to 12th grade before going to college. Apart from Quebec, where students finish high school after 11th grade and then go to vocational school for 2 years before going to college. In the United States, children go to elementary school until 5th grade, then middle school from 6th to 8th, and finally high school from 9th grade to 12th grade. After that, they can go on to college. And what about languages? Well, there are over 500 languages spoken by the US population, but only one official language, which is English, specifically American English. Canada has 2 official languages, English and French, and many Canadians believe that the relationship between these 2 languages is a defining aspect of the Canadian culture. Canada's Official Languages Commissioner has stated, in the same way that race is at the core of what it means to be American and at the core of an American experience, and class...
Well, any of you Canadians out there, any of you hop in a boat?
I don't think any Canadians watch our videos.
A couple. I've seen some comments from Canadians.
Oh, okay, never mind. Hello.
But yeah, let us know your opinions on this. I do think we're a lot alike. This was 6 years ago, so things might have changed a little bit. But let us know your opinions in the comments below.
Yeah. Nothing shocking. Actually, no. The only thing shocking was the population in Canada.
Yeah, I didn't realize
I thought they had at least like 100 million.
That's insane, yeah. Only 36 million, babe. They're so big. Canada's huge.
Yeah, but I don't think a lot of places are...
Yeah, there's certain territories in Canada where, yeah. Like Saskatchewan and other places.
Don't have any idea.
Yeah, but...
Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you have any more insight, let us know.
Yeah, and don't forget to jump over to our vlog channel and subscribe there, guys. All right.
Love ya.
We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.